Hello, you're listening to Reviewing History, your comedy history podcast. I'm filmmaker and teacher Brian Rupert, joined here by...
As always, Stephen Dagliacco.
And?
Angie, yo.
You didn't say it last time, so I didn't think you were going to do it this time.
I keep you on your toes.
I was so hood of
I
you.
never know what I'm going to get.
Yeah.
I was so hood.
All right, so real quick, I'm going to nip this in the bud before we even fucking begin.
Okay.
And I don't want to hear a goddamn fucking joke from you guys about gerbils in this fucking podcast, all right? We're not doing any
We all thought of it.
We're not doing the gerbil bit. We're not mentioning Richard Gere putting gerbils up his ass. We're not doing it. The buck stops here.
So you just do it, though.
You already, yeah, you laid it out. I mean, we weren't
And
good.
we're not fucking doing
Everybody was thinking it.
it. You guys better not fucking do it.
I was doing it while watching it to get in the mood for
So
this.
was I.
You were gerbling as you were watching
Yeah,
it.
because I knew I was going to come talk about this, and I'm like, I got to know what he was going through.
Jesus Christ.
All right,
Mothman.
we're doing Mothman.
We're doing Mothman, the Mothman Prophecies. I don't know why neither of you say the whole title.
It's more
You just
fun.
keep saying
It's
the
more
Mothman.
It's more fun.
Do you know I almost watched the wrong thing twice?
Really?
There's
Yeah,
a
because
million Mothman movies.
Yeah, there's a ton of things called the
yeah.
Mothman.
Well, who doesn't love the Mothman?
And they're all like made for TV shit.
Yeah.
Is he your favorite cryptid?
No.
Who's your favorite?
I like the
have more
the
than-
Wendigos.
More than one.
Wendigo.
You know about the Wendigo?
I am familiar with the Wendigo. He's a Marvel character, guy's first appearance.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What does he do there?
Basically, he consumes human flesh. It's kind of like a zombie Sasquatch almost situation. You pass it on.
What about the Mandingo?
Is he a superhero? He's a good guy?
No, he's a villain.
Ah.
But like kind of he doesn't want to be a villain. You know, it's like a curse.
Does a chupacabra count as one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the chupacabra.
Jersey Devil,
Yeah,
obviously.
you're a chupacabra kind of guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Jersey Devil, got to keep it local.
Right. You like the Sasquatch?
Sasquatch is good. I like Bigfoot.
If one of them is real, I think the Sasquatch has the best chance of being real.
Bunny Man.
Well, Bunny Man is real.
Bunny Man is real. But he's also a cryptid, right?
I don't know if he is. He's just a guy.
He's just a dude. Yeah. He's just a dude in a
But
bunny
he's
suit.
he's
The
never,
Bunny Man is a guy we heard about a while ago.
but he's a cryptid.
Is he? I thought he was just a guy
I
in like
thought
a
he's a
tunnel.
cryptid.
He's like a guy that escaped from a mental institution
In a bunny
and then
outfit.
hit a house with a hatchet while like a guy was working on his shed and the Bunny Man snuck. But it's a guy in a bunny suit. He's wearing a
Yeah.
bunny outfit.
A pink
I
one.
picture him like
Pink bunny
kind of ragged. It's a pink bunny suit in my imagination.
With like stains, right?
Yeah, he's got stains.
yeah.
He's unshaven.
He's been
his face is
through-
complete. Like it's not like a bunny mask or anything. It's just a man.
Yeah. But he has like the hood with ears.
Yeah, but one of them is
Yeah.
ripped.
Yeah,
One of the
yeah,
ears
yeah,
is ripped. And he comes up on this guy building a house and he hit like the post with a hatchet and he said, "You guys are always messing around. I'm gonna bust you up."
I'm gonna bust you in the head.
Yeah.
That's his quote.
Yeah.
He's the only one with a catchphrase.
But that was it. That was the end of it, right?
Right.
No, he shows up several times. Like he hits people's cars.
Yeah, he attacked the guy's car.
Did we make that up or did that actually
No, this
happen?
was what
Yeah.
we found out.
There's like a Bunny Man bridge.
Yeah.
So he went on like did he have a hatchet?
Yeah.
So he just went on a hatchet rampage but didn't hurt anyone?
No, he was just causing like minor
dents.
vandalism.
The Washington Post,
That
which
might have been someone we know.
the Washington Post, which ties into this, has 4 articles about
Bunny Man?
the Bunny Man.
Fucking bunny man.
From October 22nd, 1970 to November 6th,
I
1970.
thought we made this up for like years.
No, Bunny Man's real.
Brian
that's
and I love the
hysterical.
Bunny Man.
Yeah, obviously. I just thought you made him up all these years. I was like, yeah, why would anybody talk about this? It's a guy who just hits things with hatchets. It sounds like you made it up in the car on the way here.
Bunny Man is mad real. He's a
Even
dude,
the line sounds made up.
he's a dude in a hatchet who just runs out in a bunny costume. I don't think he killed anybody.
No.
He just
He
like,
didn't even hurt anyone.
He's just a maniac.
Who just
Like,
did
like,
damage.
I'm the Bunny Man.
But it's just minor inconveniences.
Yeah.
It's like
He like smashes a mirror, like a side view mirror.
yeah, like, oh, I know I gotta get that fixed.
You've heard of Goat Man, right?
Who's a goat man?
Same thing, only wears a goat outfit.
It's a guy who these people like were tracking who would dress as a goat and mix in with like a herd of goats and like
Is this Wile E. Coyote?
no,
This
it's
sounds
like
harmless.
it's like a psycho and like he would just like like roam around with this pack of goats, like eating grass and shit.
That sounds harmless. Let him live.
And like people would track him, like and look at him.
I love this.
You never heard of the Goat Man?
No.
Was he into bestiality?
I don't.
Was he having sex with the goats?
Are we now going into another dark path?
I don't know.
Is it gonna be spooky stuff?
Spooky stuff with goats.
Yeah.
Brian's Spooktacular. It's just the most horrific things on humanity has to offer.
Anyway, Mothman Prophecies.
Yes.
2002.
Prophecies.
Have you guys seen the movie before?
I saw the Mothman Prophecies in the theater.
Did you like it?
Like I said, I saw it in the theater. I haven't seen it since.
You were young when you saw it too.
When it came out. I was probably 12, 13, something
Okay.
like that. I have very few memories of the movie, except for, I guess I'll just say it now.
Yeah.
So in the trailer for the Mothman Prophecies, they focused heavily on the chapstick scene where he is talking on the phone with the Mothman and he asks him what he has in his hand and the Mothman says, chapstick. And me and my friend, when we were kids, thought this was the funniest fucking thing ever. And ever since then, whenever I hear the word chapstick, the Mothman plays in my head because I'm a crazy person. Now, this has evolved a lot in the last 20 years. Now, whenever my wife uses chapstick, references chapstick, looks at a chapstick, says the word chapstick, I make her stop what she's doing and watch the entire scene.
She finds this hysterical, right?
Now, it took a while.
Oh, she finds it funny
She
now?
laughs now.
Okay.
But for a long time, she was furious. And I am incapable of watching the scene without laughing hysterically through the entire
So
thing.
it happens.
And it happens to be the pivotal scene of the movie. It's like the scariest,
It's the
spooky scene.
It's
yeah,
the
it's the
scene.
scene. And I'm, like, I watched the movie last night. I'm fucking dying laughing watching it.
So
Did you watch it with your wife?
Yes. She couldn't wait to watch this. She's never seen it.
I've never seen it until
I told
this.
her, yeah, we're gonna watch the Mothman. She's like, I must be there.
I've never seen the movie until this moment. But you've done the chapstick thing for quite some time.
Forever.
And
It's part of my life.
I would call you and say like chapstick, and you just start laughing. I'd hang up. I would just hang up like that. Well, that was our conversation for that week.
In your shoe.
In your seeing it as like with the context of you,
Right. Did you
ruined
laugh too?
it for me.
Yeah. Of course it did.
Because
Of
it's
course it
actually a scary scene.
did. It's unnerving. It's a little
It's
creepy.
unnerving. Yeah.
But
and-
it's hilarious.
But you ruined it for
Yeah.
me. And I'm so happy you did. And Brian, you've seen this before?
I had seen the chapstick scene because I'm friends with Aunt.
You never seen the whole movie?
I never had seen the movie.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I was excited to watch this.
What'd you guys think?
Well, I mean, do you want to say now or do you want to go?
Usually we do initial thoughts.
What do you?
Okay. Going into this, I actually, outside of you make it into a comedy, have been told that it was scary by multiple people. So like, the Mothman Prophecies is actually a scary movie when you watch it. And
It's not.
I went into it like, okay, this is gonna be scary, and I enjoyed it, but it wasn't what I wanted.
It's a creepy movie.
It's creepy.
Yeah. Yes. I have mixed feelings about it. Like, it's not bad,
No,
but it's
It's
not
fine.
great. You know, it's fine.
it's
Yeah.
definitely.
There's a whole
There's a lot of nothing going on in the movie. You know, like, I like it. I like the beginning a lot, and I like up to where I like when they start the investigation, and then it just kind of
It drags.
it starts to
Oh, yeah.
drag. Like, nothing
Yeah.
happens. It's just a lot of phone calls.
I wrote in my notes, this is dragging. Because like it hits a point where it's like everything, they've set up everything they need to set up, get to what's supposed to happen. You're running in circles
Yes.
now.
Yeah,
Right.
they don't pull the trigger.
Exactly.
Yeah. I made a nice AKA for this.
Oh.
Okay.
The gear stare. That's what this whole movie is him staring.
Did you not like his performance?
No.
I thought he was fine.
I thought it was very good.
All right, rewatch it. He only stares.
I thought Laura Linney kind of stole the movie. I liked her.
Abigail Adams herself.
Yes.
Yeah, you could say that, but
She's
he
also,
just stares.
Truman's wife.
Yes. Real quick, let's talk about the Truman Show for 1 second.
Okay.
What?
She's like a prostitute, right? Because she has to have sex with Truman.
For money.
Wow, I never thought about that.
Like, isn't she supposed to get pregnant?
Yeah, well, that was what they were building up to. They wanted to have a kid.
So, like, she has to sleep with Truman.
Do you count porn stars as prostitutes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then yeah. If you separate those two, sure, but no. If you count, then she's a prostitute. Yeah.
She has to have sex with Truman.
Does she love Truman?
No. They make that clear.
Does he love her? No.
No.
He's in love with the other girl.
The random girl.
Yeah.
Well, it makes a better show.
Yeah, I guess she's a prostitute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never thought of that, huh?
No, I didn't. No.
I saw, like, I was watching, like, the last half hour the other
All right,
day.
but what about, like, Natalie Portman getting a box eaten in the ballet movie by...
Black Swan.
yeah.
Well, she's not really getting her box eaten. It's simulated.
Oh, they don't really do it?
No, it's simulated, dude.
All right, what about Marlon Brando raping a woman?
That was in
Well,
real
he's
life.
a rapist.
Yeah, that was in
He's
real
a spooky rapist.
life. It was just Halloween. That's all.
I'll give you a trick.
It's a love.
myself a
treat.
Yeah, thank you.
Brian wants me to talk about his doodle, so what do we have here? There's a moth.
Is that?
It is a moth.
Okay.
It has many eyes on its stomach. It's not a Mothman. It's a moth. And a bed. I'm assuming...
A bed?
bed.
Is that a bed?
That's the bridge.
Oh, that's the bridge. See, I thought it was the bed that the shoe was underneath with the watch.
I should just
shoe.
I should just drew a
You should have done some chaps.
chapstick. Yeah.
It looks like the bed/bridge looks like he just wrote HOH, but the O is a giant oval.
This is one of your better doodles because I
Thank
did
you.
recognize that as a moth,
Okay.
but that is not a bridge. It looks more like a bed to me.
Do you see a bridge at all?
You wrote HOH. That's what you wrote. It's just a long O. And the moth thing looks like a Pokemon.
Yeah, it looks like
Venomoth.
Butterfree.
Venomoth. Yeah.
That's probably what I was channeling.
And Venonat.
Yeah.
There's the other one. Let's talk about the Mothman.
Yeah, let's-
All
How
right,
does he get
let's
into it?
dive in.
Yeah.
So we're in Point Pleasant.
Country
we're not.
roads,
That's
take
not
me
where it
home
starts.
to a place.
Well, I'm sorry. There's
Starts in
text.
Georgetown.
There's text about
yeah.
Point Pleasant,
Yes, there is.
West
Oh,
Virginia.
yes.
That there's this bridge that collapsed in Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
Hold on. I
You
just
think I'm
want to.
singing Country Roads for no reason? That was the first thing I wrote down.
I'm sorry. I just want to say this movie has very little to do with the real Mothman story.
This story is complete bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not a
It's
historical
completely
movie.
fictional.
Yeah.
It's like they say it's based on true events, but it's utter bullshit.
So I hadn't seen this since I was a kid, and I was expecting it to take place in the 60s, and then it
Yeah.
doesn't.
They just made it
It's
contemporary.
2002, and it is the most 2002 movie like ever.
The intro.
Yeah.
Oh, the intro.
It
is-
looked like
oh my
Deep Blue
God.
Sea.
Yeah. Like the credits and everything about the intro
But
scream 2000.
in 2002, everyone had cell phones.
So does he.
Does he?
Yeah.
I feel like they weren't using cell phones.
No,
right?
he had him.
Yeah?
He had one.
I thought he goes to a payphone at one point.
No, it doesn't work. His phone stops working. He has to go to the guy.
Ah, okay. They pulled.
We'll get to it.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so they show Richard Gere in his office on his phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Christmas movie, actually.
I suppose it is. Yes.
Partly. But yeah, most of it, yeah.
He's there, his like an office Christmas party, and as like he's driving, they show the opening credits, which, as you guys said, is the most 2002 thing ever. But did you notice that they show the director's name twice in the credits?
No.
Like Mark Pellington really wanted to let you fucking know
This is his baby.
he made this movie. So the credits are going, right? And it's like directed by Mark Pellington. And like all this shit happens and blah, 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 all like the credits. And then the last credit is a film by Mark Pellington.
Oh, he doubles.
And I was like, you put your name in twice for
Do we
the
know
same
Mark
thing?
Pellington? What else has he done?
Was he? Not much. I looked it up.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, it's
Nothing of note.
nothing of note.
There was like there were a couple of things that I had seen, but nothing really that like
in this
is
movie, was he possibly a producer, and that's why it said a film by? Maybe he produced
He
it.
produces a lot of his shit he does, but
Yeah, that's probably why. That's why. That's for the double ones.
Maybe he did Deep Blue Sea.
Do they show
Deepest, bluest.
My hat is like a shark's fin.
Do they show Deborah messing in the intro? I think so, right?
Yeah, they show her ass because she's in
a
the shower.
fox. She's a fox.
Yeah,
in
she was
this.
hot. I didn't.
Richard Gere, not so much a fox in this, but
Richard Gere's a good-looking man.
Yeah, he's a handsome man, but he's a little past his prime here, right?
he's done at this point.
He's older.
Yeah, he's probably a little too old for Deborah Messing.
Oh yeah.
Deborah Messing is quite attractive.
I was very uncomfortable with his like silk white hair while they're making out. I'm like, what's happening?
Did you find it weird that they decided to fuck in the closet?
No. Because when you decide to pick a house, you go into the closet.
You
wherever
always
you get
test the
hard,
closet.
that's the house you buy.
Well, that's how you mark your territory. That's
Right.
how to keep intruders out. You let them know.
Yeah.
You have sex in the closet, and then people walking by will smell the pheromones.
When I moved out of my childhood home, I went into my closet and I pissed in the corner of the closet.
That's not fair to anyone new that comes in because now they won't go in that room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like under no circumstances.
I marked my territory.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's an alpha move. Just like if I'm gonna go to an open house, right? You see the kitchen, you see the bathroom, you see the bedroom, you see the walk-in closet, you shut the doors. Do I get hard? Do I get hard? If I do, it's a goodbye. I don't care what the price is. It's a
Fair
goodbye.
point. I know the Hittites used to when they would invade new territory, they would they would all just piss everywhere. They'd piss on the mountains. Now it's their mountains.
You know, in the Bible, when they
All right.
when they
all
spoke,
right.
they spoke about that golden statue.
Osmandius.
It was figuratively speaking.
Look upon my works and despair.
And I'm just
they are
pissing.
covered in my feces.
So,
Anyway.
so they're buying a house, and they actually were looking at a house for a while because Deborah Messing specifically didn't want a house near blacks and Jews or dentists. That's a Seinfeld reference.
Oh, is she the anti-dentite?
She's the anti-dentite. So the Seinfeld episode, and at the end, Jerry's an anti-dentite, and she goes, "Dentists, who needs them?"
right.
Along with the blacks and the Jews.
Right.
And Jerry like gives a face and it cuts to
All
credits.
right.
Yeah. It's a really funny line.
Yes.
That's good.
You didn't know that was her?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
They're all happy that they're buying a big house now.
Yes.
And they're driving.
Nice house.
There's also a lot of moths in the closet.
Yes.
There was one.
Perhaps foreshadowing.
There was one big moth.
It was a moth, yes.
I thought there were a couple.
I saw two.
Just one. Oh, you said there was more than one.
saw two
Oh shit!
moths.
I thought that was one.
Mothra.
It's like, I'm out of it.
So
Is
now
Mothra your favorite Godzilla villain?
No. What's the three-headed one?
Ghidorah.
Yeah, that one.
King Ghidorah is the best.
Yeah.
I thought people like Mothra.
Mothra is like kind of an ally that got like her own movies and shit.
You
a
just
she?
like the Mothra.
Yeah,
from
Mothra's
South
a
Park. You just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you just like the South Park one.
Robert
was
Smith.
Robert Smith of The
Yeah,
Cure.
That's what you like.
So they fly, they drive away.
Yes.
They're flying.
They're flying.
Yeah.
And she's like all over him. They're all giddy and happy. And the
Well,
moth,
they're gonna have some sex.
yeah, more sex.
Yes.
They're
They
insatiable.
already had sex because they buy the house and then he closes the.
And as the man is,
He's standing there. We'll take it, and then he
Yes,
shuts
he's
the
like, "We're gonna fuck in this
doors," and
closet.
It's like,
Okay, you beautiful people, you beautiful Hollywood celebs.
wild cats.
do you think the realtor stood outside and listened to them fuck the whole
Yeah,
time?
jerked off.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have.
I mean,
Did he try joining? Is the better question.
Well, they had the door closed, and he, after like 2 minutes or so, he's just like, "Hey, you mind if I come in?" And they were like, "Yeah." We were wondering what you were waiting for, and that's what happened.
Dreams do come true.
Yeah, for everyone.
It's a Christmas movie.
right.
he was like, "I have a Gaelic," and Richard Gere was happy to oblige.
So then the Mothman kills her.
The
Or
way
is it
you-
the fact that there were no airbags in the car?
well, the Mothman flies at the car and they crash.
Did airbags not exist around then?
In 2002?
Like I feel like airbags.
She
were a
barely
thing.
crashed. Like she spun out.
She
and
hits
hit
her head.
She hit a
Smashed
garbage.
her head on the fucking
She hit a
window.
garbage pail, and so then she smashed the side of her head on the side window.
Yeah, the window shattered. I
Yeah.
feel like that's a hard
and
hit.
and she's all freaked out.
Well, she's unconscious.
She's after she gets to the hospital.
and then she goes, "You didn't see him.
You didn't see him.
You didn't see the Mothman.
You didn't see it." And he's like, "What
there's
are you
some-
talking about?"
There's something wrong with me.
And then they find she has a tumor.
Did you guys see the wristband that in the hospital? They zoomed in on it, and the doctor's name was Spyro. Spyro, and I was like, Spyro the Dragon.
Yeah.
I thought it was a little homage to that.
He's cool. Ripto's rage.
This was they really loved 99 to 2002 games.
Well, yeah, this was 2002.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is perfect for that.
Spyro the Dragon. He's a defunct game character. He's up there with like Gex,
Yes.
Banjo.
Yes.
Banjo.
I think
Yeah.
there was like 3 Spyros.
There were 3.
There was
the-
Year of the Dragon. There was Spyro the Dragon and Spyro 2.
Bomberman. Remember Bomberman?
Yes.
Bomberman was great.
The 90s and like the late 90s and early 2000s, every company was desperate to have like a gaming
They
mascot.
all wanted Mario 64.
Awesome Possum.
Also,
I don't
Possum
remember
was-
that one.
Oh,
That was
a good
Genesis.
one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
What
What
about
about Glover?
Glover.
Yeah, it
yes.
was just Danny Glover in his own game. Hello.
What about
I
Vector?
can't get a cab.
Vector Man? Do you remember Vector Man or no?
Oh, I remember Vector Man.
Vector Man
I
was the
liked it.
shit. This part of the movie is when I actually realized shit's gonna get really cheesy and corny, and I wasn't expecting it.
Why? Because the Mothman just murdered a woman?
No. That actually was kind of bad graphics, but it wasn't the peak of cheese. It's that when they do the brain scan and they show the tumor and it goes whadoom, and it's just a moth in
Yeah.
the brain
Oh,
scan.
yeah, there was a moth in her head.
And I go, oh fuck, here we go. This is gonna be
Now,
cheesy.
here's my question. The accident didn't kill her.
No.
We're misrepresenting.
The tumor
that.
killed her.
Yes.
She had like secret cancer.
Unless you think that the Mothman gave her cancer.
Right. Or you could think that the Mothman
No.
was trying to warn
Yes.
Richard Gere that she had cancer.
That's what it was. Yes,
Oh, you think the Mothman was trying to help him?
the
Yeah.
Mothman is actually the good guy.
The
in the movie.
Mothman-
So you
is
think it's
very
a friendly?
ambiguous.
It's a friendly Mothman.
It's not that he's friendly. It's just that what he does is he alerts someone that tragedy is coming.
Yes,
That's what the Mothman does.
the Mothman is the good
and
guy.
then you
in
got to
this.
figure it
you
out.
gotta interpret his mothy ways.
He's the good guy.
Right.
Also, this is all when I found out that Richard Gere was not going to be good in this. Was this scene because his wife just got into a massive car accident? No emotion.
I thought he
Just
was very
found
emotional.
just found cancer. No, he didn't cry. Not once. He didn't look sad.
I don't
He
think
just
you would
stared.
I think if you found out your wife, you'd just be horrified. But I don't know if you'd like just break down.
I would at least have like a sad face just once.
He's shocked.
Well, it's I don't want reality. It's a movie. It's a movie. I need him. I need a little feeling. He's just staring.
I think you're being
Staring.
mean to Gear.
I'm gonna be really mean to
You
Gere in
know
this.
he's suffering because of what's happening in his bowels at that very moment.
That's the thing.
Hey! What did I say?
And now you get the first creepy thing, right? You get the nurse. You get the nurse.
He's got the
Yeah,
weird
standing
orderly
in
guy.
the hallway. Yeah, she knew.
She knew. And he's like sad. She was drawing angels.
He's sadder than Gere.
Yeah, he is.
Do you agree with me now?
Well, are you supposed to think he's an emissary of the Mothman?
He is the Mothman.
Oh, you think the orderly's the Mothman?
They show he's the Mothman
What?
later on. Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right. He is the Mothman.
Mothman.
Hold on, wait, what?
You didn't know
He's the
this.
Mothman. He's
Yeah.
right.
How is he the Mothman?
Because when
Okay.
he goes to the TNT area,
The house that is
sees
the
the
outline,
outline
of the
and the
guy.
guy
and
appears.
and he sees and he goes, "Oh my God, that's the orderly's shadow."
right, he's the Mothman.
He's the Mothman telling him, "Listen,
That's why that guy was so weird.
the Mothman's the good guy."
Bro, this movie's better than I thought it was.
Okay, I didn't.
No, it's still just as it was. It's just you missed the part.
That was the fucking Mothman. What? So she was drawing pictures of the Mothman in a notebook.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, she was drawing angels. And it's
Yeah.
like, this is the most demonic looking shit I've ever seen. This is pure evil.
Sick angels, bro. Looks like Satan.
Yeah.
What kind of fucking angels are you hoping for?
Right.
You think like drawing angels, little kids or something. It's just this winged bat, dark red
Fucking-
face with fangs. Like, it's horrifying. Yeah.
So we go 2 years later.
Yes, flash forward.
We flash forward 2 years
Still
later.
winter.
And it's just exactly 2 years later. It's
always winter.
It's still Christmas.
It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah. Richard Gere is supposed to go on a date.
Yeah. His
Yeah.
friend Eddie sets him up. Who
His
was
friend, the fast talking guy.
apparently
Yeah.
a Sherpa of the box, because he's just trying to hook him up constantly. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
He's
worried about his buddy.
throwing. Eddie's got like so many women. He's just throwing extras at Gere.
Well, so is the Mothman trying to get Richard Gere to move on? The Mothman really seems to want Richard Gere to be happy.
You think the Mothman did it?
No. The Mothman does not want that to happen. The Mothman has a purpose, and he wants to badger Richard Gere for the rest of his life.
Oh, he just wants to fuck with Richard Gere.
That's what Mothman does. At least that's what I got out of this. Mothman has chosen Richard Gere to dick around with until he dies.
No.
Yes.
He left after that. The ending, you never heard of him again?
Because Richard Gere chose not to accept the Mothman.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And that's why he was able to save Laura Linney.
Yeah, I see.
All right.
Get it?
No.
So Richard.
I don't think anybody gets this shit.
So Richard Gere is driving, and his car dies.
He's trying to drive to Richmond, Virginia, and he ends up...
Well, before that, he doesn't know that yet, because his car dies.
No.
You're
wrong.
driving.
He's trying to drive to Richmond, Virginia, because he's going to meet like an interview there.
Yeah.
And somehow he time warps all the way to West Virginia on the far side on the Ohio border, which
Rocky
is like
Horror
hours
Picture
and
Show.
hours
Yeah.
away.
The time warp.
He should not have been able to do that. And his car breaks down outside the house of a guy named Gordon.
But he doesn't know that yet.
No, he doesn't know that yet.
Played
That's
by
what I'm
Will
saying.
Patton.
Well, his car dies, and he goes up to the house, and then he finds out, he gets held at gunpoint.
Yes.
And it looks like he's about to be spooky eyes.
Yes.
They're about to do some spooky acts with Richard Gere, it looks
Yes.
like.
Brian got
in the
excited.
bathtub. And then Abigail Adams shows up, the cop, played by Laura Linney.
Yeah.
She's great.
Also,
She's a great actress.
Also a fox.
Everything
She's
in
gorgeous.
is good.
Yeah.
She's so beautiful. I love Laura
In
Linney.
this, yeah.
I didn't
she
realize
is.
you guys were big Linney heads.
Are you not into Laura Linney?
She's a cute girl.
I'm not as
I don't
much
think
as he
she's
is.
like this fucking bombshell. Like
I find her very attractive.
I'm not as much as Brian, but
Maybe
she's
it's because
good.
she played Abigail Adams, and that really does it for
you
me.
love like colonial ladies.
Yeah.
You should see Brian's Martha Washington nude.
So he's standing in the bathroom, and it's
Betsy Ross, what a fox.
I was reminded of Scarface. I'm like, this is about to get real spooky.
I was thinking of Training Day.
Yeah, same thing. I wonder if they kind of took a little.
I think he
emotion
took him
from
to
that.
the tub.
He did
Like,
take
if
him
I'm
to the
gonna,
tub.
I know. It's like if I'm gonna blow this guy away, I'm gonna put it. You
don't want a mess.
Yeah, right.
And this is where it stopped becoming real for me. Is because they're like, well, let me see your credentials. He's like, yes, I work for the Post, and they didn't shoot him. I feel like that would have been an immediate.
This
like,
is 2002.
Yeah.
People,
they're in West Virginia.
it was 2002. People didn't have a revulsion to all
No,
reporters and journalists.
They
yet.
comment on it. They comment on his city-like demeanor
Well,
towards them.
it's less of a
It's not
political
aggressive,
thing and
yeah.
more of like
Yeah.
a city folk versus country folk type
Yeah.
divide.
So we get a bunch of weird transitions.
Well, this is
throughout
when we
this whole
find out
movie.
about the time warp, and it's also this guy Gordon tells him that Richard Gere had visited.
He also
him.
tells him greed is good.
That's Gordon Gecko.
That's his uncle.
All right,
Gordon's monthly. They all meet. Charles Gordon.
the Gordon Fisherman.
Yeah, Gordon Fisherman. Charles Gordon.
Will Patton has a horrible name in this.
Who's Will Patton?
The actor.
Yeah, he plays Gordon.
Gordon, what's his last name?
Lightfoot.
Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Smallwood. That's a horrible name.
I feel like that's not a bad name.
No?
Gordon Smallwood.
That's
very Anglo.
It's a pretty bad name.
I like it.
Yeah.
Steven's like, I want huge wood.
Right. Like you Michael mediocre, like come on.
Average wood.
Average wood. Mediocre chode. Come on. That's a bad name, dude.
I don't see the problem.
No, you don't agree?
I like it.
Do you just like Smallwood?
I think I'm going to name my kid that.
Smallwood?
Gordon Smallwood Galati.
GSG. So we see the Point Pleasant Hotel,
Yeah.
which I didn't even know they were in Jersey.
Oh, bro.
You did the same joke?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Point Pleasant Hotel, they're going to play boardwalk games. They're not going after a turtle.
He says he doesn't know where he is, though. Like,
Well,
He doesn't know how he got there.
Yeah,
He wasn't trying to go there.
he's not really being too inconspicuous with, like, being innocent here. They're like, what are you doing here? I don't know.
Here's my biggest problem with this movie. The relationship between Richard Gere and Laura Linney makes no sense.
it doesn't work at
Yeah,
all.
you're right.
No. It's like they meet each other where he's a suspect to a crime, and then they're like
buddies.
in love. Then they're buddies. Then they're in love.
They have no chemistry.
Right. They have no chemistry, and they never have sex or kiss or anything. But they're like madly in love with each other by the end. You know, the progression is just not shown. I think maybe there's got to be like deleted scenes or something.
No,
right?
I just think Richard Gere's not a good actor.
No,
Richard Gere's a good actor, man.
Pretty Woman.
Officer and a Gentleman.
Dude,
I don't know. I never saw any of that shit.
in order maybe it's just the bad writing, who knows, but I feel like if you're a good actor, you could actually make emotions out of something, and there was just nothing there.
What was so bad about what he did? I didn't think
He just didn't have emotions at all. And
I disagree.
I thought he had believable emotions. What do you want him to do? Just be, oh, God, the Mothman.
No, but, you know.
What's the deal with this Mothman? Is he a man? Is he a moth? Why is he attracted to the light on my ceiling? Why is he putting holes in all of my clothes?
Why does he hate these balls?
He hates cedar.
It's cedar.
So then Richard Gere, the next day, apologizes to the guy for going to his house and tells him that he's freaking out because he doesn't know why he's there.
And he's 400 miles away in 2 hours.
Yeah.
And he had lost time.
Right.
Now, have you guys ever had lost time?
No.
Yeah.
You've had lost time?
No, I mean drinking.
Okay.
Yeah, lose some time quick.
How do you think he got there?
He got time warped, man. He got Mothmaned.
Okay.
It doesn't. It's like when they were walking
Sure.
the one direction the whole day in the Blair Witch, and then they ended up at the same spot.
Okay.
It's not the same log. You know?
Yeah.
That's the best scene in the movie.
I wish that I had that ability and I could use it to get to work very fast.
Teleportation.
Yeah.
Or the Mothman like power where you just this thing's just sending you random places because it wants you there.
I did that literally 2 nights ago.
What?
Like,
Do you need a shrink?
No, I was just driving home from work, and like I had no memory of getting from one spot to the next.
So you've had lost time.
I guess, do you count that? I think I was just really tired.
Were you falling asleep at the wheel while driving? Because you shouldn't do that.
It's 5 a.m. I'm really tired.
He thinks aliens are abducting him. His brain's shutting off.
I didn't say aliens abducted me. All I said was I was here.
Sounds like
and then
they are.
I just recognized where I was.
What
and I was
day
like,
do
I
you
don't
think
remember.
it is? Honest question. Without looking at a calendar, what's today?
Juneteenth.
It's close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Gear and the cop start talking.
Well, he stakes out the house to see if he shows up to ring the bell,
Yes.
Yeah.
And
he doesn't.
the cop pulls him in.
Right.
And they start
then they become
talk-
pals.
Yeah, and
I
she
thought I'd
starts
find you here.
she starts talking to him about
They start having an X-Files Twin Peaks style investigation.
and she tells him other people are talking about it.
They're all seeing the Linkin Park album everywhere.
There's a sketch in the car that matches the one his wife did of the demons.
Right.
Hybrid theory again.
He's one step closer to the edge,
Right.
and he's
Yeah,
about to
yeah.
break.
So now they start interviewing the Mothman sightings. And this is the one thing in the movie. Well, no, not the one thing, but some of this matches some of the accounts
Yeah.
from real life. So
That were happening at this time.
Let's talk about this for a second.
Okay.
So 1960s. I think it's
Swinging 60s, here I
I
come,
think
baby.
it's,
Yeah.
66. Yeah, 66. The Mothman starts making appearances in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. The first sighting is this couple where they were making out in
There,
the car, and then the Mothman chased them down this road.
But there was now in the film there's a big light that happened.
Yeah.
So it was just a camera crew. They were like trying to film
And like, you know, the young couple that are like getting engaged? I think they're like the stand-in
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah.
And then there's the woman that
It's 8 feet tall.
yeah, that was another like eyewitness sighting. There were over 100 of these Mothman sightings. That's a lot in a year in this town. And then, well, we know what happens. There's a bunch of theories on what this was.
That's one every 3
Can I tell you
days,
my
dude.
theory?
Yeah,
they're next to a chemical plant just putting shit into their water supply and they don't know it, and like there was just a mass psychosis. And after the first person said it, they put it into the collective conscious and everybody started seeing a fucking Mothman.
So it's actually not a chemical plant.
It's not a chemical plant.
It is
It's a power plant?
It is the remains of an munitions depot where they worked on the explosives that went into the Manhattan Project.
So not too
So
far
it's
off.
connected with the atomic bomb.
So there's chemicals.
And the leakage ended up, like leakage from the facility ended up in the water, in like the rivers and
They're
surrounding
putting chemicals in the water that make us see the friggin' Mothman.
Yeah, they're turning the Mothman gay. There is a working theory that the Mothman is a very large crane. It's a specific type of crane called sandhill crane, which on its normally has a 6-foot wingspan and has red on its face.
Okay.
Like around its eyes, and like a lot of people think that's what people were seeing.
Wow.
And there are people that think like the chemicals actually mutated one of these things.
Did anybody
and made it very large?
try giving him tree fitty? He's an 8-foot tall monster.
Right.
Nobody tried doing this.
There's also this thing called, just to stay on the bird thing, it's called eye shine. So when birds have light flashed on them, like a headlight, their eyes turn red. And there's a specific type of owl in the region called the barred owl that are like all over the place down there that get big red eyes when you shoot them with a light.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's what some people think
Some
it is.
people think it is.
Right. But there's, like I said, there's over 100 fucking Mothman sightings in a year. Something was going on, whether it's some mass hysteria thing or confusion. I don't know.
What do you think?
Oh, I think it's a Mothman.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a fucking visitor from the Moth universe. I don't know. That's probably one of those stupid
The
cranes.
strange thing. Now, how much did you research into this? Not
I
just
have
this-
watched many Mothman documentaries
You have.
over the years. Yes.
And now you think it was the Mothman here, but I know.
no, I don't.
Oh, I'm just, okay,
was kidding.
Sure, but there's been
Sure you are, eh?
multiple sightings of some similar figures with similar problems.
Yeah.
Right. So like, it can't all be chemicals.
No.
Like there has to be. Something.
I actually don't think it's chemicals at all. I think like 2 or 3 people saw a bird,
And everyone hopped.
and
on,
everybody else was just imagining shit.
hopped on the bandwagon.
Like the leprechaun in Mobile, Alabama.
The
yeah.
tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a crackhead.
Yep.
Got a whole
Got
own
more
stuff. This all culminates with an event, and we'll get to it. But yeah, that's where the Mothman Prophecies.
Yes.
Let's talk about
It's
this.
a book.
It's a book. It's a novel by this guy,
John Keel.
John Keel.
Who's an abnormal researcher guy.
Right.
Like he's like
He
one
talks
of these
about
dudes.
ultra-terrestrials, which are like things from other dimensions.
So not too spooky, but a little spooky.
He's a little spooky.
Spooky.
He
Or in Brian's case, pleasant. Basically a fairy tale.
he pretty much took the Mothman accounts and wove them into this narrative, and that's what we're seeing in the movie. Just,
And he says that this was happening to him, like he was communicating with the Mothman.
yeah, this is like his
The
own-
Richard Gere part is based
this guy.
is based on him
Right.
mostly, except he never worked for the Washington Post. Yeah, he's kind of a kook, John Keel.
Yeah, it seems that way.
But
So anyway, back to the film.
they're researching and talking to all these people. There's calls at the fire department, and the cop has a lot of downtime. There
She's
must
just hanging with Gear.
constantly. There's no
And
crime.
He also becomes like best pals with the other guy. The
Yeah,
family.
with Gordon.
He's eating dinner with them.
Yeah.
When the guy goes to have his like cancer scan, he goes to the hospital with him. He's in the fucking room with them.
Well, there's a reason for that. Because he said there was a thing that happened where he was complaining about some headaches and problems and some hallucinations. And he's like, my wife died like that. And it turns out she had cancer. Let's see if you have cancer. And this was back to the beginning of the episode when we said, do you think it gave her cancer? This shows that it didn't because he didn't have cancer.
Okay.
So it was showing like, no. He's just saying bad shit's happening. He didn't kill anyone.
Right.
So And then you get the 99 dead thing, I believe, which is utterly terrifying to me.
99 Denver will die.
I wanted to talk about this with you, actually.
I don't.
Yes, me too.
I'm terrified of talking about this.
So Steven firmly believes that he gets premonitions.
The
No.
beeve who saw the future.
I don't believe I get premonitions. I believe I did get one major one and a few small ones at a certain amount of time frame in my life, which is
I'll
last
say
about
again,
2
Beaver
years.
believes he gets premonitions.
Sure.
Can we talk about this?
Yeah, I don't. Sure. I hate talking about it because it's actually disturbing,
It needs to happen.
but it has to happen. Yeah, especially with this.
Okay, explain.
He gets Mothman prophecies.
So I did not get a Mothman prophecy because I didn't get like phone calls. I didn't get like voices. I didn't hear voices. I didn't see things. I didn't hallucinate. But I had a dream. I had like Martin Luther
So
King.
did Martin Luther King.
Look what happened to him. I can draw this out. Legit, frame by frame, I could draw out this dream. And this happened in 2007, I would say is a safe bet. I was in contact with Brian this entire time, and he can contest to
I
this.
remember you called me.
Yeah, I called him in a panic at 1 a.m, I believe. So I
Well,
had
if
a
you
dream.
want comfort, you went to the right guy.
Well, there was nobody else. I knew he was the only one awake. So at this point, I was sleeping. I was having a regular dream.
And he turned over and said, Brian, I had a bad dream.
Yeah.
I said, what's the matter, Steve?
And he was holding me. Like, don't worry, it was just spooky time. It was just spooky time, and then whispered in my ear. I knew I was dreaming, and for some reason, I was having a regular, like, bullshit dream. And I got pulled out of it. I can't explain what it is, but I'm awake. Like, I'm clearly awake, but I can't wake up. I try screaming in my dream, and I can't scream. There's something stuck in my mouth or something's preventing me.
I told you it was spooky time.
I tried pulling at, like, opening my mouth, and I couldn't.
This happens to me too.
It happens.
Yeah.
So I get dragged to a rainy intersection. I look down to my left, and
Like a
there's
crossroads?
a crossroad, kind of. Not really a crossroad, but it's an intersection.
Steve I was there.
Yeah, playing guitar. There was a person laying flat on their face with blood coming out of their stomach or chest. It was hard to really tell. I got pulled forward again. Somebody was being held, looking up by somebody else. So it was clearly somebody was injured. I could draw out the face if you want. It happened. I get pulled towards the end of the intersection. It's raining. There's 2 cop cars there. And it's somebody sitting next to on the side of a guardrail in an orange jumpsuit. And he's holding his chest, and his eyes are very evil looking, but it's very cloudy. And he's looking right at me and trying to breathe like almost his last breaths. And I'm trying
Standing?
No, he's laying down. He's clearly like hit. So
He's like shot?
It looks like he's shot. It's hard to tell, but he's definitely laying on his side. In an orange jumpsuit, clearly a prison jumpsuit. I'm panicking. I'm trying to wake up. I can't wake up.
And then he said, William.
I did wake up. And when I woke up, there was 3 people standing over me looking down. I freak out. I turn.
Was it the Tin Man, the Scarecrow?
It was. Yeah. It was.
And you were there. And
It
you
was
were
for
there.
a brief 3 or 4 seconds, like sleep paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I chalk that up as a nightmare. I can't go back to sleep. I call up Brian. I'm like,
freaked out.
listen, I'm coming over. I text him about the dream. I'm like, dude, I'm coming over. He goes, sure, and he could tell you verbatim. That's basically what I told him. I don't think I deviated from that at all.
You remember this night?
I remember him telling me about the fucking weird dream.
Yes. And then I had a flip phone at the time, a Google flip phone. And I'm panicking. My mind's racing. I open up the news, and there it is, the story. A man escaped from an institution, stole guards' guns, beat them up, shot a driver in the head, stole his car, and then he himself got killed.
So you saw the guy.
There's a couple of different things that are a little weird with this because it wasn't in New York.
Where was it? Ecuador?
I have the article because I knew you'd ask about this.
Wow.
This was actually in Maryland.
Ah.
So there's 2 scary things about that. One, if it actually is the truth, that's fucking pretty wild, right? Because did I see something happening as it happened, or did he see something before it happened? Is the scary part.
Well, if the article was already ready, I guess it happened already.
What?
Well, no, it happened
When you woke
at
up, wasn't the article there?
No. What I woke up, I went to Brian's house, hung out for about an hour. You came over, and then I showed him the article, and I was like, dude, like I don't sleep.
It was the next day.
It was like the next day. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the next day the article like matched his thing.
Yes.
I remember this.
And I actually have it.
I wish we had photos. We could see if it was who you saw. I believe.
I don't have. I could check maybe if you want to search the guy, but
Why don't you?
You're talking about a dream.
What's the date on that?
This is 2007. Let me get the exact date.
Like, if anybody wants to go investigate this.
Sure, maybe somebody else actually had like a similar situation where this happened, but it's actually really difficult because I have horrible service. But actually, Brian, you have a computer right there.
Email. I have the same dream.
I would talk to the person. I'd be like, really? And I'd tell them to draw it out, or at least get some, like a police sketch artist to do it. You know?
Well, you've had other incidents too.
Yeah, but nothing like this. This was the worst one. This actually fucked me up for a long time. I couldn't sleep for like 2 years.
I remember you telling me about an airplane one.
Yeah, I know you've had a lot of airplane dreams that have come true.
I've had a lot. I haven't had one in a long time.
Yeah.
But I used to get a lot. I think once I moved out of that house, it stopped.
Really?
Yeah.
You think you were on like a
the
fault
house.
line?
I think it was either that or not a fault line, but just something about it. I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
But yeah.
Search. Let's see what this guy's name. Kelvin Polk. KelvinPoke. This was Laurel, Maryland.
Wow.
And I'm sure you can find the article. Big dude.
Inmate escapes from hospital. It's in New York Times.
Yeah.
January 3rd, 2008.
There you go. Okay, 2008.
There you go.
You can look up the article and listen, I have no reason to lie about that.
No.
It's just stupid if I do.
Right.
You know, but that happened. And this movie specifically fucked me up a little bit because of that. I brought that back.
As soon as I saw the scene, I was like, oh, Beaver's going to hate this.
It brought me back and I'm like, oh, fuck. Like,
Can you talk about the planes? Because doesn't your grandmother have sight and your mother too?
no, just my
He's got the shine?
No, just my mother.
His mother has the shine.
No, just my mother. She's had multiple incidences where she would wake up from nightmares, tell us like, I saw a plane coming down, blah, blah, blah. And we would brush it off almost every time. And almost every time, next morning, a plane crashes. The last one I had, I actually can't tell you the date.
I can. September 10th, 2001. Piece of shit. You could say it.
No, it won't. No, I swear. I had a dream that I was on a plane and I was leaving from Africa. It was like Air Africa, I believe. I don't know why I knew it.
What were you in there?
I couldn't tell you, but I was
He was listening to Toto.
I was a passenger on the plane. It was from a first-person view, which was weird. And plane takes off. I can't imagine how much time passes, but I hear yelling. I hear complaint. I hear somebody saying in my head, oh, God, please no, please no.
He was Ozzy. You
And
were listening to Black Sabbath.
Everything went black. It just went black. And I woke up. I was like, oh, that was fucking creepy. You know, I go about my day. I look at the news again, and a plane from Ethiopia crashed.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, like that same day. It happens all the time. Like, at least it used to. I got used to it at that point. I was just, I don't even want to think about it half the time. It's very difficult to sleep because you don't know when it's going to happen.
You think you grew out of your shine?
I would fucking hope so. That's just terrifying. Like, you don't like, that's not fun. It's not fun to talk about. It's not.
Beaver's Dr. Sleep.
There's no the thing. Like, I wish there was a way to like a warning, like you know, like
You wish you could get like a phone call.
phone call would be nice.
Mothman.
Yeah, I would prefer the phone call. Yeah,
Hopefully he ends like Scatman Carruthers.
You want Beaver to take an axe to his fucking.
but yeah, if anybody has, I've done research about it too, where like certain events happen, and a lot of people will have dreams about like the event. So there was a volcano that went off where like it covered a school in ash, and like 30 people in the town had a dream about a school covered in ash, and it's like, who's gonna just make that up for fun? Like, that's not something fun to make up.
That's like that island, Montserrat. You know about Montserrat?
Ever hear of the island of Dr. Monroe? He's turning people into human-animal hybrids.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. He's wearing a bucket on his head. You know about Montserrat?
No, what
Completely
is
off
that?
topic.
What is that?
It's an island in the Caribbean that has a volcano. And the volcano like buried the city, and they had to evacuate it, and it's never been repopulated.
Wow.
It's like a modern Pompeii. It happened in the 90s.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's cool.
You don't hear about that.
No, you don't.
But yeah, that's my story.
Anyway,
This movie though doesn't remind me so much of that as it does about like Lovecraft.
HP?
Yeah, like it's very Lovecraftian, this story.
That's not my favorite HP.
What's your favorite HP?
Hewlett
computers?
Packard.
HPV.
He loves
Sick.
the human papillomavirus.
Sick.
So she tells. So Laura Linney talks about her dream where she's going to wake up surrounded by.
She's in the water.
She's in the water.
surrounded by presents.
Surrounded by presents, and it says "Wake up, 37."
Yes.
in a row, snoogans.
Oh, that's good.
So
That was a cool scene.
yeah, so then the William Patton Gordon gets cancer. You know, they find out about.
Well, he
the
talks to the
airplane.
Mothman. The
This
Mothman
is it.
tells him.
His name.
What's his name?
Ingrid Cole.
Did you Google search that name?
No.
Do it.
Right now?
Yeah, let him do it.
What's the name?
I want
Indrid Cold.
Indrid Cold.
C-O-L-D.
INDRID Cold.
It's a musical artist.
Watch.
Indrid Cold band.
No, not the band. Just the name. Delete band. Enter.
Cryptid.
I want you to look at the images.
He's like a Man in Black type guy, right?
No.
Oh, he's a creepy smiling dude who kind of looks like the Joker.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Indrid Cold. Yeah.
Now, is that
It's a character from the Mothman Prophecies, the book.
in the book? They describe him looking like that.
I guess, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, he like visits him and shit and like has conversations with him.
because in this, I was hoping to see him,
No.
and it's like you never do it. It's
Right.
I was left wanting more.
The guy Gordon his sink is talking to him. And
At least it's not his bathtub trying to eat him. The bathtub
tried to eat Oscar.
Yeah.
his sink is talking to him, and it tells him about people dying, and it pretty much we get to see what would be the end result if Richard Gere kept up with the Mothman.
Yes.
I think, you know, and we'll see what happens later.
So 300 dead.
Yeah,
He says
300 will die.
300 will die, and then he immediately has the paper
Yes.
where it's like 300 are already dead. It doesn't seem like he's making a prediction.
it's very fast.
It
The
already
reporting-
happened.
The reporting is the newspapers are wonderful in Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
And to your point, the cutting in this and the transitions are just they're all over the fucking place.
Yeah, it's so weird, the transitions. Like, they're always making moth shapes. And,
Yeah,
and
Then they'll just
weird
show
lighting.
like a panning of a city block, like or the block.
we get
of a
moth
town.
vision.
Yeah, like it's flying overhead. Yeah, like, what's happening?
So then this is the scene, the
scene.
Indrid cold call
Yes.
with Richard Gere.
Richard Gere gets a call from Gordon, tells him he's sitting with Indrid Cold, the Mothman, and they have a conversation. And you guys got to tell me.
Indrid Cold already knows everything.
Yes.
And how does he test him?
And he's like, what's in my shoe?
Your watch. In your shoe.
Freaks out. He freaks out. He opens a dresser drawer.
the bed.
He grabs a stick, a chapstick. What's in my hand?
Stick.
And it goes doom doom, and you're like, oh, and he throws it, and he freaks out like it's like he now's the scary thing, because everything before then really was just clearly bullshit. It's the chapstick that did
And
it.
then they're reading the book, and the Mothman knows the pages he's
Yes,
on.
he reads
Line
the
51,
line.
page
and it
51.
zooms in with like
Yes.
red moth
Yeah.
shit.
Moth vision. And this was actually creepy, where the police officer goes to Gordon
Yeah.
to see like, oh my God, he's there. I got to help him. And he's
Right.
like, I've been sleeping since like 9 o'clock.
Right.
Like, what are you talking about? Which was he?
Gordon didn't call. It was the
It was the
Mothman.
Mothman.
He could just
it was using his
mimic
voice.
voices.
Right.
Yeah.
So then Richard Gere takes it to do audio analysis.
Right. He
And-
recorded the phone call.
Yeah.
Yes.
And basically, you know, they're like, this doesn't work. This is not a human voice. It's electric.
It's electric impulses.
He watches him. I watched you last night, Mr. Klein. Have a sweet piece. What do you do? No, he didn't think. I'm just like that's the first thing that pops in my head. Like,
He's just a
Ingrid
voyeur.
Cold is watching me, but like,
Mothman.
how much is he watching me?
The Mothman is a creep.
Yeah, he's flying overhead, just looking at you.
Where's the gerbil, Mothman? Where's the gerbil?
Hey!
You broke your own fucking rule.
Yeah, but
Who
one of you-
watches The Watchmen?
one of you-
Apparently no one.
One of you guys just has to tag it up. It's too good. It's too good. Where's the gerbil, Mothman? Where's the gerbil? You gotta say it, Ant.
Say what?
Where's the gerbil?
Shoot.
The gerbil's in Richard Gere's shoe?
Well, his man purse.
It's in his ass.
Yeah. But the Mothman has to say it.
In your ass.
So Richard Gere is told basically to stay out of Point Pleasant.
That's when he had to call fucking Ben Affleck from Phantoms. He would have known what to do.
And I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Is this movie in response to 9/11? Because hold on.
Who's Bush? Is Gordon Smallwood Bush? Because that would make so much sense for me. It explains the name.
Hold on. Stay with me.
Richard Gere is the WMDs.
All right, hold on. Stay with me.
I'm trying.
9/11, because I was thinking about this. 9/11 happens. It's the biggest disaster in the nation's history. I think we could agree, right?
Sure. Okay. It's up there.
We're dealing
Human
with this
disaster.
human disaster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's an earth-shattering event, and this entire movie is
So
about
is the earthquake in Chicago.
this entire movie is about preventing some sort of catastrophe or disaster. And it comes out the year after 9/11. It's not totally conscious, but I feel like there's something there.
When the bridge collapses and you're watching the destruction, it's impossible not to, especially at the time, think about 9/11.
Yeah.
You know, and all the death.
I feel like it's a subtle
I don't think
response.
the movie is really reckoning that.
I think it's a cultural thing though. That's just in the air.
It's in the air.
That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
I don't even know if it's conscious. But this movie doesn't come out in 2000. It comes out in 2002.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And
could
I
just be
definitely think
timing.
that's I don't know.
It could just be like the timing.
But
and-
what's in the air that gets a movie greenlit about preventing a giant catastrophe? You know?
I mean,
Could be the Mothman.
yeah, it's just, yeah. What if he did it?
Where's the script? In your hand.
You'd think he'd stop answering the phone at one point. Like, bad shit keeps happening.
Well, that's
Just
why
don't-
he stopped.
Just don't answer the phone.
So there's a chemical plant, right?
Yeah.
Gordon is on the bridge and he gets a visit from his wife with a wake-up call,
Yes. Yes.
right?
You're right. You're right.
He gets a wake-up call and they're like, this
On the
is your
bridge, he
wake-up
says
call.
everything is real. He's like, this is real. Like, I'm gonna meet the Mothman. This is what I'm doing now. I'm all about the Mothman. And then there's a wake up call, like a wake up call for you. And he's like, I didn't order a wake up call. And that's
Was that him, the Mothman telling him to go save Gordon? Or to
Yeah.
Go, talk to
Yes.
him?
Yes.
And then Gordon calls.
Mothman's the good guy.
Gordon calls. Richard Gere runs to Gordon, and Gordon is dead. And then, they come, and Laura Linney's like, when did you get here?
Right.
When did he call you?
Been out here for hours.
Yeah, he called me an hour ago.
Right.
And she hasn't had enough of his shit.
She's had enough Mothmania.
Yeah.
Mothmania.
Well, Ingrid Cole's kind of a jerk in this. Really, really driving people crazy. He's fucking with lights.
I don't even know if he wants to prevent anything. I think he just does what he does.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what you're supposed to get out of this. He just is. He's part of the natural world.
Yeah.
It's just we can't perceive him unless he chooses to present himself.
So
How does he present himself?
Well, he flies into your car and kills your wife.
that's how he presents himself.
Hello! Oh, look! Whoosh! Oh, silly Ingrid. Ingrid going at it again. I think he had some good airtime this time. Sadly, Susan's dead, but at least he's back in fucking New Jersey.
He loves prank phone calls too.
He does. Cold is a jerky boy.
He's just a jerk. He's fucking with the Christmas lights too. You didn't see that? Like they're in the town square, the lights are flashing. Like he's just stop fucking with lights, man.
Ring, ring. Who is this?
Gotcha.
It's Saul Rosenberg. I fell down the stairs and my shoes fell off. I wake up. My teeth are bleeding. I cannot chew popcorn while driving cab.
He's calling up bars. Yeah. He's pranking like kid shit.
Who is this? Jim. Jim who? Gymnasium.
But the bartender knows what's up. He's like, this is fucking cold. I can't with this guy. He keeps, okay, cold.
Didn't you fall for a refrigerator running prank?
Yes.
Yes, when we all worked at Applebee's, I used to answer the phones. That was my job. And they called once. They asked us if our refrigerator was running. And I said yes. And then he just goes, you better go catch it. I couldn't believe they got me.
You're the first person to fall for that joke.
In 60 years.
Yeah. It's your refrigerator running.
Hello? Red. I fucked your mother.
You yellow bastard. Cold laughing. I don't know why they can't get a caller ID trace. It's never working.
Hey, 2 bar.
So at this point, I wrote the movie's dragging.
Oh, yeah.
It's really slowing down. And now Richard Gere's like, I got to go to the writer who knew the building was going to blow up. Because this writer apparently knew a building was going to blow up, tried to, like, you know, get it taken care of, and he got arrested as a suspected terrorist.
Right.
Richard Gere goes to him, and they have a conversation about stuff. And I love the line where he's like, we're not allowed to know.
Yeah.
Right.
You're never going to know the answers to the Mothman.
Well, that guy was talking to Mothman himself.
Originally.
And he gave it up. He's like, I'm stepping away from the Mothman.
It's
And
the
then
only
it didn't
way to
bother him
live.
after that. Yeah.
Mothman
But
just,
it's like Richard Gere was like, don't you want to know? And he's like, we can't know.
do you think Mothman was just trying to get a friend, but he's like, that's the only way he knows how? Do you think he would have called for
You think he's
Christmas?
just socially awkward?
How do you think that Christmas call would have went?
So there's going to be a great tragedy on the Ohio River, right? And Richard Gere is like panicking, and he's like going to a politician. Nothing happens, and he looks like a crazy asshole.
Yes. Mothman just ruined his career.
Yep.
That's what he does.
And then he gets a message that Mary will call him Friday at noon
Right.
in Georgetown.
Just fucks. That has to fuck with your head.
Uncle Freddie died. Got you.
Hangs up.
You killed Uncle Freddie. Now you want to kill me, right?
You know, I said this isn't an okay movie, but as a comedy, it might be better.
I go to the beach and step on piss clams. They rub sand on my ashy nipples.
It's 3 a.m. You're on the phone. Just what? Why? Why are you doing this?
Hey there, jerky. Frank Rizzo.
You can't even unplug the phone. It keeps going. It keeps going every time.
I gave him some peanuts and some money. He said his name was Pico. Anyway.
So Richard Gere goes to Georgetown, and he has a fight with Laura Linney. But
Yes.
she's like, enough of this Mothman shit.
Yeah. Just come for Christmas.
Just come for Christmas. And he's like, I gotta go talk to my dead wife.
This is when he finally asks.
Oh, wait. His dead wife showed up at the police department.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
That was kind of creepy.
Yeah.
That's cool. That was
Yeah.
a good scene.
But also very weird because like she saw her, but he didn't.
Right.
So it's just this like lost thing, and
Well, she wouldn't acknowledge it.
she didn't want to believe it.
Richard Gere is like, is this the woman? She's like, they look similar.
yeah, well, she
What a
doesn't wanna
bitch.
believe it.
Yeah, and it's like, yo, you just got Mothman. Just admit it. It's happening to everybody.
You know it's the
He's
truth.
pranking everybody in town. The local bar owner is furious all the time. He told him he's gonna dig up his mother and fuck a skeleton.
It was around the 60s, right, when this actually happened.
Is the fat muffin man there? How is that fat muffin ass bastard?
It's a town of like 600.
TORS.
By the way, you have cancer. What? Why? You don't know if you believe him or not?
Al who? Alcoholic. Maya who?
Maya butt reeks. I need Amanda.
Amanda who?
Amanda hug and kiss.
So, she clearly knows, like, this is happening. She tries to ignore it. She invites him over for Christmas, and he finally acts. He finally breaks down.
This is a great performance from Gere right here.
I'll give him that.
He's great.
I'll give him that.
This scene
Yep.
when he like is debating internally about
He rips the phone out of the wall.
he gives up on his dead wife.
Right.
And he knows that
She's dead.
she's dead. He's not going to be able to talk to her. Laura Linney has convinced him to stop mourning your dead wife. Come over here and jump in this sweet thing.
Right.
Which was also completely confusing to me.
Why?
Because at no point did I feel like he was looking for his dead wife throughout this entire movie.
But that option
You know what I mean?
presented itself. He wasn't
And-
looking
and
for
she-
his dead wife.
Right.
But
And
his
she
dead
wa-
wife was contacting him through the Mothman.
And
Or at
she-
least the Mothman was
Mothman,
using
yeah.
his dead wife to entice him.
And she walked into friggin'
She walked into the police station.
exactly.
Into her, yeah.
Right. And then the Mothman calls him again, and he doesn't pick up this time. And that is him choosing.
Well, he rips the phone out, but it keeps
Right.
ringing.
It's choosing
which
to
is
live
what he
his own
does to the
life.
bartender. And he gets into holiday traffic, right?
Yeah, it's bridge traffic.
I hate bridge traffic.
It sucks.
Sitting in traffic or getting one kick in the balls.
Remember that time you were in bridge traffic?
Yeah, I did like an Instagram live.
Yeah.
I was so bored. I was in traffic for like an hour and a half stuck on the outer bridge. That was a nightmare. Part of me was like, I wish this will just sink into the sea right now.
You wish the Mothman would have saved you?
This is preferable. So the bridge collapses, and it's a pretty gnarly scene. It
And
looks
this,
good.
This
It's
happened
cool.
in real life.
Yes,
The
which
Silver
we'll
Bridge.
we'll talk about the real thing at the end.
Yes.
Richard Gere jumps into
The Ohio River.
the Ohio River.
Wouldn't he have died?
That
It's like
that
0
was my
degrees.
thought.
My thing, I thought, like, why don't you take your coat off? I imagine that, like, would impede swimming.
I mean, neither one is good. Coat or no coat, it's 0 degrees.
But like, usually, like when you jump off a bridge, it's like a suicide thing. I guess this is a not.
Well, the bridge already collapsed.
No, he's on it, like part of it.
It already fell a little bit. He jumped off of the edge, like at a decent height, I feel.
He dove.
Bridge scene coming down is actually
What
really
you
cool.
didn't know is that Richard Gere's character was actually
Aquaman?
classically trained in diving from Rodney Dangerfield. He could do the triple Lindy with his eyes closed.
Oh, whoa!
Triple.
And he can learn about communism from Robert Downey Jr.
That's right. You look like the poster boy for birth control.
Bridge took a really long time to fall. I love the scene, but
It's a great scene.
It took a long time.
I like when the cable smashes the car.
Oh, that was brutal. Yeah,
That was cool.
takes out the kid, right?
Yeah, yeah. Felt bad.
And you
then.
see the girlfriend in the gown.
She was trying on wedding dresses
dress
on Christmas Eve in the middle of the night.
and he just gets killed by a giant cable.
Poor guy.
That guy got it bad.
The wife has it bad too. Lost her husband.
And Richard Gere saves her. He pulls her out.
Yes.
Yes.
36 are dead. And they fucked it up. Mothman is just a big Kevin Smith fan. He was trying to make a Kevin Smith joke. He was trying to make a 37 joke. And by saving Laura Linney, now it's 36 and no one can make the Clerks reference. Mothman's there in his Silent Bob coat, his backwards hat. He's smoking a cigarette and he's trying to look all cool. And there you go. They fucked up Mothman's joke.
Wake up 37.
Snookin'.
Snoogans. 37 dicks.
You fucked your mother, Red.
So, it's time to talk about reality.
Yeah.
Okay.
In reality, 46 people died on the bridge.
The Silver Bridge.
And
Collapsed.
the bridge collapsed due to an I-bar failure.
And in the movie, it says we don't know how it collapsed, but they know it.
Yeah, they know how it collapsed.
Yeah.
It is actually legendary in architecture as a design failure, where basically they were like, they did not know that this piece could break. However, due to the way they designed the bridge, they would never have a way to check that the internal aspect of this beam was rotted from the inside because of how they had built the bridge. And they're like, it's a master class in how when you design something, you need to think about future problems that can arise so people can get there.
Wow.
And they were like, that is why the bridge collapsed.
Do you think other bridges had that flaw and they had to like go in and?
I'm sure they did.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, after
wild.
this, any bridge designed the same way, I'm sure they were like,
we
let's
gotta
get on
fix
this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's what happened like with the nuclear reactors when Chernobyl happened.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So the movie, like we said, it's not really interested in connecting any of the
Reality.
right, but it doesn't have to.
What was
you
the
know?
reality
'Cause they-
of the actual prophecies themselves?
There were no prophecies.
There was nothing.
No, it was
so the
just sightings
Mothman
of
prophecies is just
the Mothman
like
Prophecies
nothing.
is a novel written by a guy.
I thought maybe the people talking about the Mothman would have had some connection.
They
to
just
it.
saw
They
him.
just saw him.
Yeah, they just
Oh, there
saw
was
him.
no
And
talking
like
at all.
Well, it once the bridge collapsed. The bridge collapsed 1 year after the sightings of the Mothman, and then the sighting stopped. So they naturally made that connection.
Okay.
There was a sighting days before the bridge collapse of the Mothman on the bridge. You know, he's now become the harbinger of this. For a while, there was this thing where they were saying he was connected to like an Indian curse by this guy called Cornstalk in the 1700s. So there was a battle, and he cursed the town. But that
Point
turned,
Pleasant?
yeah, that turned out to be like a play that someone wrote in like 1905.
Okay.
And had no basis in reality whatsoever. There's they have a statue in the town of the Mothman now.
Really?
Yeah, the town is all Mothman crazy now.
Do you think that like Mothman doesn't like the commercialism? Or is he happy he's out there?
I think so. I think Mothman is all about the publicity.
He's like, put me out there. I want people to know about me.
Sure.
He's probably having a fucking ball with cell phones.
Does he just send text messages? He does the spam calls you get.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
no one answers anymore.
I want to give you an update on your car insurance.
I speak Chinese to
Everyone's
people
fucking
now. It's
hanging him
my new
up.
gimmick.
Yeah, he's the Chinese
He's the
bank.
Chinese.
Would you like to learn about your car's extended warranty?
We'll hang up on him.
He's doing like real meta comedy that nobody
Yeah.
gets.
Yeah. There's
It's Andy Kaufman.
Yeah.
You know, there's like one 60-year-old that says like, "Oh, I definitely want to hear about that," and he just destroys that person's soul.
Grandpa, I'm in jail. I need you to wire me money.
I'm an African prince.
Nigeria.
I'm calling about the United Veteran Fund. We take donations.
Do you support cops? We need your money.
Oh God, I've cursed them out before.
I hate them so
Yeah.
much. So, what do we think of the movie?
The movie is better than I remember it, but again, it's not great. If it was about a half hour shorter,
Yeah, it could be trimmed.
it would be a good movie.
Yeah.
What's your out of 10?
5.
Okay.
That's exactly where I am. 2.5, 5.
I'm about a 6. 6 out of 10. I liked
Yeah.
the concept a lot. It just wasn't the best executed.
There's definitely a good story there. It's just the execution. Yeah.
Right.
Now, is this Mothman related? Because it was in my head the whole time. Do you remember you told me, I think it was something about a guy named Mr. Atox. I might be wrong about this. Where this dude was like...
Mr. Atox from Star Trek.
It is from... Okay. But it's this guy you told me about who was like abducted, or he went on an adventure with an alien for like 10 years and then came back in like West Virginia. Do you remember this?
This is a guy that just went into the woods for 10 years.
Isn't that the plot of Close Encounters?
No, you told me about this guy. He was like abducted by
aliens?
By an alien. Like they became friends. It was him
That's
and like
E.T., Brian.
It was him and like a male alien where they almost had like a gay affair and they went off and like. Do you remember this?
No.
Was he fucking with you?
No,
Are you making a joke?
No, I'm not. You told me about this thing. I wasn't sure if it was the Mothman or not.
I thought.
Oh!
I legit thought you were making a gay E.T.
You know what I'm
joke.
talking
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
All right.
So I watched a documentary years and years ago
Okay.
about the Mothman.
That's why. Okay, yes.
And in it, there was Indrid Cold was like visiting this guy in his house. It was like the Mothman Prophecies documentary or whatever. And it's all bullshit. But me and my brother were watching the thing and we came up, we analyzed what they were saying and like, no, there's no Mothman. He's really just having a gay encounter with another man, and he tells his wife that he's meeting with this alien, and he's going up on his spaceship when really he's just having gay sex. Yeah, that was the joke.
Oh,
Yeah.
But in the documentary, who was it?
I don't remember. It was all nonsense. Like I used to watch these things because I don't know. I was interested in the Mothman. But that particular one was like more about the book this guy wrote and like acting like it was real.
Okay.
And they were like FBI agents and fucking UFOs, and Mothman was from space.
And he's claiming that like he's like hung out with the Mothman and like,
yeah, Indrid Cold specifically was like coming to his house and like ringing the bell,
okay.
and then he'd leave with him, and the wife would just be like, "Where are they going?"
The Mothman is just ruining relationships too. He's such a jerk. Why is he such a jerk?
Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, see, that was in my head somewhere, but I couldn't really remember it.
Yeah, it was a joke that me and my brother had. Years
See, I
ago.
thought that like it was like yeah, but according to the guy, the Mothman and him were like hanging out and chilling.
Yeah, they like went on adventures,
Okay,
What kind of adventures are we talking?
spooky ones.
Spooky?
very spooky.
Very spooky adventures?
Are we done?
That's it.
I believe we're done.
Any final words on the Mothman Prophecies?
I would like to see a movie like this made now that's like better graphics and maybe a little bit more well done, because I like the story a lot. I think it could be a little bit better.
The story's good. It plays like an X-Files or
Yeah.
a Twilight Zone, little Twin Peaksy.
But he was the good guy. Like I've been saying it through the whole show. It's like he wasn't a villain. It's just perceived as creepy
from a certain point of view.
right? Yeah. That's why if it's done well, I would like it. Reminds me a little bit of a couple horror movies recently. Like Hereditary. Reminds me a little bit like that.
How so?
Just the direction of like this possession is actually not what you think kind of thing. That's all.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's it, guys. Let's say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you for listening.
Want to thank you all for listening. Want to give a thanks to Tell 'em Steve Dave, Walt Landis recorded in the studio. Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, RViewPod on Twitter, Reviewing History everywhere else. Send us an email, reviewinghistorypod@gmail.com. Follow me on all social media at Brian Rupert. Follow me on Letterboxd. I rank or review every single movie I watch, not just the ones for this show. You can find everything about the show in the show notes. And we will see you next time. Thanks for listening. Bye.